Alright, Shalom Akim. Ariel back at you with another video. This is one of the boxing channels, Fan and International Boxing channel. And Devin Alexander appears on it and he answers some thought-provoking questions, some good questions. Because we're in the year 2020, hastening the day of Yehovah Shemi Shai. He's here, the presence is here, so we know we're going to start to see more truths. More and more truths will come out. You know, before the missiles come, before the chip, we have the pandemic, but before all the prophecies come out, we're going to start to see, before all the prophecies are eventually fulfilled, we're going to start to see more truths in the earth. And for all lovers of truth, that's a beautiful thing. For all those that are lovers of truth, all the elect, the potential elect, the hopeful elect. So we're going to start to see more truths in the earth, man, which is a beautiful thing. So, yes, there's a boxer called, his name is Devin Alexander, and he starts to expose and answer just common sense questions. Is there racism in boxing? Something that people know exists, but a lot of people are afraid to talk about racism and hatred. And when you talk about it, they try and turn it around, and you know, this is what goes on in the corporate world, mostly in the corporate world. So before we go into this video, I'm going to give all praises to Yehovah Hashem Yoshai, Hashem Harakah Kodash, double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the sincere Akim. Rise up to the height, the house of David. Year 2021, hastening the day of Yehovah Hashem Yoshai. His presence is here. So yeah, I'm going to let him go in the corporate world. You know, boxing is part of that world, and many people don't want to speak truth. But we have another celebrity, former boxer, comes out and he mentions, you know, is there corruption in boxing? So let's hear what's said in this interview. I've done a video previously on Deontay Wilder knows who his enemies are. You know, most people, celebrities do know, but they don't want to speak. But here's another one.
Care about his previous history. All he cares about, they gave him a lump of money to train this guy how to throw a punch. And that's cool in the game. However, when they find the dirty stuff, because they're going to find it, because the injuries to Wilder's skull are inconsistent with the boxing glove. No one has ever seen no one's ever seen an injury to a human skull like that with a boxing glove. Okay, and magically Tyson Fury, who couldn't bust a grape, is now knocking dents in people's head based off of Sugar showing him how to turn his punch. I personally don't believe that. All right. So if Sugar Hill doesn't know that the gloves were manipulated, that's fine. But that term in concert links him to that. Panama look.
So yes, just to fill you in, more and more truths are coming out about the racism in boxing and the corruption in boxing, and the criminals with criminal records in boxing are being exposed. I.e. Tyson Fury is being exposed because the truth is coming out. Let's hear some more. And this is a former
Louis Resta.
Like I say, Deontay Wilder know who his enemies is. Another boxer's coming forward. More boxers will come forward because the truth is in the earth, man. More truths will come out because what is in the dark will always come out into the light. And people feel suppressed, and you can tell when you look at certain celebrities that they feel oppressed. They talk a certain way. They want to be able to speak, and I'm getting that discernment. My discerning spirit is letting me see that people want to be able to speak freely, but they can't because the corporate world has them tied up. They have money. They have investments in it. They want to keep. They want to be liked, but you know, this is that time, man, where people have no choice but to start to speak the truth. Because Yehovah Shai is in the earth. Yehovah Shai is in the earth. Let's hear some more.
So Louis said, I didn't know. Panama Lewis said, what are you talking about? The judge said, both of y'all are gone. Okay. Sugar Hill, hey, I just wrapped the hands. Hey, I just wrapped his hands. I just showed him how to turn his arm properly so he can get more knockouts. Okay. Tyson Fury says, look, I don't know what he's talking about, but we're finding this evidence. Dents in the heads, all this cheating, and based off of your previous history, you're gone. Both of y'all are gone. In concert. So if Sugar Hill really is a man of his word, and he doesn't know anything about Tyson Fury or about the manipulated gloves or anything like that, I hope he understands that term in concert. Now, he says he does, all right? But I find it highly strange that Tyson Fury, if the world said, oh, he beat him the first time, it wasn't a draw. I don't know what fight they were watching, but whatever, all right? Then he ducked the immediate rematch, had 2 fights in between, looked horrible against Otto Wallin, all right? And then comes in against Deontay Wilder, and now he's knocking dents in people's skulls. It didn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. So now, there's a lot of money involved in this third fight, even in the pandemic. Why is he ducking the third fight? I believe it's because the world's going to be looking at that man's glove. All right, so I would tell you, please, brother, review the evidence.
Tell me. It was before I came on your platform. It was a couple of people saying, "Man."
Now check this out. Devin Alexander knows who his enemies are, and it may not have been just now, today. He may have always known, but he just didn't really want to speak about it. But opportunities are coming up all the time to speak about racism, because there's something called the big elephant in the room. And you can't ignore the elephant in the room. Racism is real. And he's gonna hear him spill the beans.
Man, be careful, man. He's a race baiter.
Yeah, listen to what you said. Let me touch it back.
But we're finding this evidence. Dents in the heads, all this cheating, and based off of your previous history, you're gone. Both of y'all are gone. In concert. So if Sugar Hill really is a man of his word, and he doesn't know anything about Tyson Fury or about the manipulated gloves or anything like that, I hope he understands that term in concert. Now, he says he does, all right? But I find it highly strange that Tyson Fury, if the world said, oh, he beat him the first time, it wasn't a draw. I don't know what fight they were watching, but whatever. All right, then he ducked the immediate rematch, had 2 fights in between, looked horrible against Otto Wallin, all right, and then comes in against Deontay Wilder, and now he's knocking dents in people's skulls. It didn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. So now, there's a lot of money involved in this third fight, even in the pandemic. Why is he ducking the third fight? I believe it's because the world's going to be looking at that man's glove. All right, so I would tell you, please, brother, review the evidence.
Tell me. It was before I.
So before he came on the show, listen to what he says. People are telling him.
Came on your platform. It was a couple of people saying, "Man, be careful, man. He's a race baiter. He's disrespectful. He's gonna be talking crazy, man. He's all about color and race and this,
right,
and this and that."
Meanwhile, who's telling you that? White people? Who's telling you that? Now, what is your interpretation of me right now? Now that you're speaking, am I any of that? You can be honest.
Nah, you ain't.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a few of them that inboxed me and said, "Hey, man, hey." Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a race baiter, man. He's always talking about it. He can't accept the facts and this and that.
Okay, I'm a race baiter. Are you familiar with I'm a race baiter. That's cute.
Yeah, he's a former police officer, and he's been brought up with a background of boxing, so he knows a lot about boxing. and he's exposing the corruption in boxing. Yeah, his name is Drew Titan, and yeah, I'm into boxing. Like I say, I keep my ears in the boxing game because, like I say, boxing is a reflection of life. You know, if you are even just a black person, not even of the elect, but even if you're just a black person, you know that everything that you've got now, you had to fight for it, whether it was in the ring or out the ring. You know, it was a 9 to 5. It was you was on your grime. You had to get up early in the morning as a black person, going about your business. Everything you got now, you had to fight for it. So you understand, and I relate. Personally, I relate to fighting and boxing and all forms of combat because it's not easy. So in your own way, you're a fighter. That's why, like I say, I keep my ears to the boxing because I relate to all forms of fighting. And yeah, there's another one that's come forward and is exposing, talking about what his experience in the boxing game, and he says out of his own mouth, it's not easy, and there's racism in it, and there's corruption in it. Devin Alexander knows who his enemies are. That's what I'm going to entitle this video. Let's hear some more.
Respectful, he's gonna be talking crazy, man. He's all about color and race and this,
Right.
and this and that.
Meanwhile, who's telling you that? White people? Who's telling you that? Now, what is your interpretation of me right now? Just speak to me. Am I any of that? You can be honest.
Nah, you ain't.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got a few of them that inboxed me and said, "Hey, man, hey, yeah, man, yeah, he's a race baiter, man. He's always talking about it. He can't accept the facts and this and that, this and that."
Okay, I'm a race baiter. Are you familiar with I'm a race baiter. That's cute. Are you familiar with there's a channel on YouTube called Champside. You familiar with him at all? He's also on Instagram, Champside. He did a pound for pound list very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an honest list that I agree with 110%. And the next day, people are jumping on him in his chat with a bunch of monkey emojis. Because he didn't have Canelo Alvarez on his pound for pound list. Well, his logic behind that, number one, was because Canelo's a drug cheat. And I agree with that 110%. I don't put drug cheats on my pound for pound list. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. For example, if Shane Mosley was active today with a belt, I wouldn't put him on it. And I don't care. I've supported Shane Mosley his entire career. I'm a Shane Mosley fan. But unfortunately, he popped dirty. Therefore, he would never make a list of mine. And
yeah,
now
he had the arm
the cream
steroid thing.
Yeah, the cream.
Cream. Yeah.
Cream in the clear. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Cream in the clear.
Yeah.
That's what he was using. He admitted to that. And that made me question everything he did in his career. Everything. You know? So, you know, that was the whole topic. What are my questions, Sugar Hill, reasonable? And really think about it. People are hitting you up in your inbox calling me a race baiter. Am I a race baiter? I just told you what happened at Champside. I don't know Champside. I'm subscribed to his channel for a while now. And he put up a pound for pound list that had he had Manny Pacquiao on there at number 4. I think he had Caleb Plant at number 10. That's a Filipino and a white. I think the list was too black though. Am I race baiting by saying that? Or is Errol Spence really number 1 pound for pound? All right. You understand what I'm talking about?
Now, I got some experience.
Yes, he's gonna drop there. He's gonna let the cat out of the bag. He says he's got some experience because he knows that they just want a white hope. You know, the closer to white you are, you be up there. They want you to make that person the pound for pound, put you on the pound for pound list, and they don't want no black, you know, to be blunt, they don't want no black man to be no pound for pound. The number one. So Devin Alexander drops the ball. He lets the cat out of the bag. He says he has experience over here in England, where there's a big pink fat elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about, called racism, and he's letting the cat out of the bag.
He had Manny Pacquiao on there at number 4. I think he had Caleb Plant at number 10. That's a Filipino and a white. I think the list was too black though. Am I race baiting by saying that? Or is Spence really number pound for pound? All right. You understand what we're talking about?
Now, I got some experience with UK fighters. Because when I fought somebody over there, they different. I got a lot of that. A lot of the hate, a lot of the, the racist jokes and all that. I got a lot of that when I fought somebody.
So those are more than likely the same guys that are hitting you up. All of a sudden, they're your friend now. They're hitting you up, telling you to be careful of me. But meanwhile, they chop up my video and make it seem like I'm some sort of race baiting asshole. No, I said nothing racist. In fact, I was talking to another black man, and I showed him.
Yes, right, man. So that's the fun in boxing. They talk about the boxing, and like I say, I keep my ears locked in. Always watching and seeing what goes on in the boxing game. The corruption. There's a lot of corruption in boxing. There's a lot of racism in boxing, and a lot of oppression in boxing. People want to speak in that world, and they're frightened to speak. You see, but we free. We talk truth. We bring out truth. Because there's a big fat pink elephant in the room that they're mentioning, the big fat elephant in the room, which is racism and corruption. And he said Devin Alexander said when he came over to England, he said they was calling him awful, which goes back to Deuteronomy 28, the proverbs and the bywords, making monkey emojis about him. Anytime he beat one of the British fighters over here, he felt the hate. They called him names, racist names. So this video is going to be entitled Devin Alexander Knows Who His Enemies Is. Just like Deontay Wilder knows who his enemies is. Floyd Mayweather knows who his enemies is. John Jones, the former MMA fighter, knows who his enemies is. But people will speak because Yahushua is in the earth. And you will know the truth. That's what he said. And the truth will set you free. So we're continuing to put out the vibration in the earth. Yahushua is here. His presence is here. And we're pushing that vibration of truth. Yeah, let's bring out the precept. Ecclesiastes 12:10 says, never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. I'm starting to like this scripture even more. This scripture is ringing more and more true, man. Yes, because Yehovah Shemi is here. The presence is here. Yeah, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, so we know the precept by now. If we don't know the precept by now, boy, you better stay tuned. You're gonna see more truths coming out. You're gonna see more people confessing, giving their testimony of being a victim of racism. That big fat pink elephant in the room that people want to try and walk around and ignore. You can't do it. You can't avoid a big fat pink elephant in the room. You end up getting crushed by it. You understand? So people probably were starting to feel crushed. So they said, let me just start talking about it, man. Yes. And kudos to them. It's only going to help you to speak the truth. Because if you speak in lies, it's Galatians 6:7, man. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall also reap. And if you don't know by now, they're talking about Tyson Fury, the cheat. The last fight he cheated. So that's being exposed. The glove gate, the so-called boar meat. Giving Deontay Wilder something, putting it in his system to numb his nerves, so that the fight will be more easy for him to win the fight, because his history, his record, has been brought out by this former police officer. Jew Titan is being exposed, and they're trying to come. Anybody that tries to talk to Jew Titan, they're trying to make up lies about him, that, you know, he's a race baiter, as Devin Alexander goes in and he mentions. So if you want to catch the whole video, you know, it's one of them boxing channels, fan and boxing. But we're going to stick into the scripts now, just to end off the video. Psalm 58 and 3 says, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That reminds me of the precept we just looked at in Sirach 12 and 10, man. Never trust thine enemy, you know, because just like iron rust, if you know you clean away the rust, it always appears. You can't hide it, you know. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, they are like the deaf adder. They stoppeth her ear, that stoppeth her ear, right, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming ever so wisely. Yeah, these are precepts we should know by now, but I want to continue to read them because they're powerful precepts that really give you insight into the big fat pink elephant in the room. That's why I want to continue to read and bring out these precepts. Psalms 140 says, and this is one of my favorites of David, yeah, Psalms of David, yeah, it says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man or the violent woman, which are the enemy, so-called Goyim and the Edomites, which imagine mischief in their hearts, continually they gather together for war. They gather together for war. They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent. Yeah, that's a precept to Psalm 58 and 3 and 4. It says, they sharpen their tongue like a serpent, adder's poison is under their lips. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked, preserve me from the violent man, who have purpose to overthrow my goings. 5. The proud have hid a snare for me, and cords they have spread as a net. By the wayside they have set gins for me. So that's why we continue to put up those curses, man, to get away those gins, the witchcraft that they want to try and put out in the atmosphere. When you say Shalak Rayam Wayanasham Wahabajam, yeah, there is no enchantment against Jacob. You understand? You reflect it back on them, and everything that they do will fall upon their own head. That's why you have to remember, and I try to remember every day to put up those vibrations out in the air. Shalak Rayam Wayanasham Wahabajam Waragma Wa-asham Al-Kal Wa-Yabyanawa, to all the enemies. So I just put out the curses to all the enemies. And if you're a hater of truth, it's going to pursue you too. All your lies are going to pursue you and fall upon your own head if you're a hater of truth and you love lies. Shalak Rambi Panala Uno. So, like I say, you know, I bring out some of the boxing. You know, it's boxing, fighting is part of life. You understand? When you come out the womb, they want to, as soon as you come out of the womb, they want to do something that ain't right. Give you something that ain't right. You understand? You're eating food that ain't right. You're breathing in polluted air that ain't right. So you're fighting from the time you come out the womb. Even when you was in the womb, they was trying to do certain things to your mother that weren't right. So you are a fighter, whether you like it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. And I give all respect. I give respect to people that are in the boxing game. It's a corporate world, but if you really want to win, you got to call upon the name of Yehovah Hashem Yoshai, because he has no zeros on his record. Kala Yehovah Hashem Yoshai for giving me the spirit to do this video. Devin Alexander, another one who knows who his enemies is. More people will come forward because the truth is in the air. The vibration of Yehovah Hashem Yoshai is here. Hasten the day of Yehovah Hashem Yoshai. Right. So we're going to leave it there. Point is made. Devin Alexander knows who his enemies is. Rise up to the house of David. Shall luck run be upon all my enemy. And everything they've done to us, past, present and future, may it fall upon their own head.